and bass up the track a little bit, because I want to hear that booms, booms, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know the business. Common sense. So with the De La, we get all them playoffs. We the rhyme sayers. Yeah, that's the business.
Good morning, everybody. Today I'm on a 2010 Yamaha R6. It's been a long time since I've ridden one of these. I used to have a 2000 R6 way back as I think it was my second or third bike that I owned, and I actually wasn't a really big fan of it. I found it to be really unstable, really unbalanced, and just a really twitchy bike. Not exactly the most confident 600 I've ever ridden. So I got rid of it right away and got a 99 R1, and I love that. So this will be interesting to compare it, because I do remember quite well what that 2000 R6 was like. So we'll see how this one does next to it. So far, you can already tell as soon as you get on the bike, it's got quite a high seat position. I'm 5'6", and I'm not quite on my tippy toes, but pretty close. It's a pretty high sitting bike. You also sit very, very forward. It's a very raked seating position. Definitely wouldn't be very comfortable on a long distance ride, not in this position. A lot of weight is held on your upper shoulders just to brace yourself. It is pretty lightweight. It's around 415 pounds. It's the average weight for these bikes. Just in the slow traffic though, it's very balanced, a lot better than the previous years. Holy man, it's been a long time since I've ridden an inline 600. You forget how high they rev. You feel a little weird at first revving them this high, or staying in those high RPMs, but it's where they are alive. This bike makes 122 horsepower at like 14,500. So with a red line of 16.2, you really have to wind this thing out to get any sort of life out of it. Like, don't get me wrong, it's still freaking quick, obviously, but you really got to wind it out to feel that power band, with that power being put out at such a high RPM. But the engine itself is very, very smooth. I feel literally zero vibration through the handlebars or the seat. This bike's starting to grow on me a bit. Wasn't the biggest fan when I first got on it, but now that I'm riding it a little bit more, I'm starting to appreciate it, get used to it. There are some things that I'm not a huge fan of. The seating position itself for a daily rider, I don't think it'd be all that ideal. With such a raked position, you are gonna get sore and fatigued on longer rides. Another thing, the brake and the shift lever, they feel like they're really close to the frame, so I'm really having to pivot my foot to hit them, and I am getting better with practice, but I literally almost have to pick my foot up right off and replace it back onto the peg. But as for handling, this bike is so smooth. Very grippy. With that rake position, it allows for a nice sharp turn in without a lot of work or effort. You can whip this thing back and forth all you need to, under throttle, off throttle. Yeah, this is a really well balanced bike. Not bad. No ABS though. That's something that I've become accustomed to with all these new bikes I'm riding. This will do a stoppie in a big hurry. Powerful brakes though. Picked up the front or the back end there just at that low speed. And I didn't grab it full either. Back brake's strong, locks up. I do appreciate ABS now that I've ridden bikes with them though. It's a beautiful handling bike. I really like it out on this road. But again, you have to rev the living piss out of it to have any real fun with it, in my opinion. It's still fun, but to get that excitement and thrill for myself, I have to rev it pretty high. It's a very well balanced bike too. Major improvements over the first generation, as expected. Sounds good though. As soon as you break that 14,000 mark, I swear it opens up another set of valves, because this thing just screams. The whole engine pitch completely changes. Yeah, it's got a great induction sound. Right around that 8,000 mark, really starts to scream. The clutch lets go right at the very top, like the absolute very top of that clutch lever. It's kind of weird, it takes some time to get used to, but yeah, this thing gets up and goes in those higher RPMs, holy crap. Front end lifted up there. Well, 2010 R6 wasn't a disappointment. It's a damn fun bike. I forgot how much fun 600s are to boot around on. You know, once you get into these big leader bikes, you think that you just constantly need more power, and a 600's never enough, but they have their own characteristics that are unique to themselves. The power band, the way they handle everything. Yeah, overall, very happy with this thing. There are a few things that I love. What do I love? I love the brake power. It's got amazing brakes on it. The balance is fantastic, especially at low speeds. Very maneuverable bike. The power is great. Great power band. It really comes alive at 14,000. You better be holding on at that point anyways. Things I don't like. Seat height's a little high for my liking for a 600. The seat itself is pretty firm. This is basically like a track-ready bike, it feels like. Your seating position is very, very forward, rigged forward. The handlebars are low, so it's a little uncomfortable for a longer ride. But when you are doing some spirited riding in the mountains or on the track, that's where this bike would shine. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it for somebody's first bike. It does have some characteristics that do require some skill once you get out there and open it up. The clutch is pretty heavy itself. My wrist is actually kind of sore right now. Other than that, I quite enjoy the bike. You know, it's a blast. Seriously, right here, you're gonna drink milk right here.